All right, so I'm here today, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, to talk about the Apple Watch Ultra. I've had mine now for 10 days. You've probably seen a lot of those, Apple Watch Ultra after a week. I thought, look, let's give it a few more days and make it after 10 days. And I'm going to jump straight into it and just talk about the battery. So I came from an Apple Watch Series 4. My Series 4, I got that on launch day back, 2017, 18. And it's lasted me quite well. Really enjoyed it. I had a stainless steel watch as well, the larger 44 millimeter. And I've really enjoyed that sort of higher quality metal and the sapphire crystal display, which I was never going to go back to glass display after seeing how little that scratched after 4 years or so. The Apple Watch Ultra. I decided last year that I was going to get a titanium watch for my next one. I'm really glad I held out from the Series 7. Just one more year, I thought I'll get the Series 8 and go titanium, but there is no Series 8 titanium, so here we are with the Apple Watch Ultra. The Series 4 watch battery, it lasted me quite a while. I actually got it damaged and replaced under Apple Care, I think it was earlier this year, just before I got married. So the battery that I had was pretty much new. I had 100% battery health almost until the day I packed it away and put it in a box because I got this one. But it just didn't last. I mean, compared to this, the watch battery in this is insane. This thing goes all day, all night. I chuck it on charge really quickly when I go for my shower in the morning, and it's lasted me, now I'm on my 10th day, right, of owning this thing, and I've never charged it to 100%. It's not on purpose. I just don't really feel the need to. That battery anxiety is completely gone, which I know is a thing that a lot of Apple Watch users have had, and I certainly have had in the past, making sure that you charge it full before you leave. I don't need to do that anymore. I really don't feel the need to. When I first got it, I took it straight out of the box, paired it with my phone, chucked it on my wrist at, I think it was 70% battery, and ran it through the day, ran it through the night, ran it halfway through the next day, and it was sort of closer to 20-30% battery. I was blown away with just how long this thing lasted. I've left the always on display on, as you can probably tell if I do that. Yep. A lot of people talking about how the always on display drains your battery, and look, it probably does. But coming from an Apple Watch Series 4 straight to an Apple Watch Ultra, I have not noticed any issues whatsoever with keeping the battery on. On my watch, I've got sort of, everything that I need. I've got my wallet, obviously, which I can double tap the side button and get to with ease. The new action button as well on the other side, sorry. I can get to the workout app quite quickly, which I used to have a complication on my screen, which I don't need anymore. I've got the UV sort of thing at the top corner there, which somebody who I like to go for a walk around lunchtime, but I also suffer from heat stroke quite frequently for some reason. I'm not sure why. I drink a lot of water. The other thing I've got down the bottom left is my hydration, which is synced to my Hydrate Steel Spark Pro, whatever it's called, drink bottle, which syncs with my phone and my watch. Just shows me how much water that I've had through the day, because I also get chronic headaches, which has previously been linked to me not drinking enough water. I've also got my activity through the day, so I can see my rings as they fill up, or don't some days. And of course my home controls, because I have a little bit of my home integrated with my watch and my Apple Home. I have hit this thing a few times already, accidentally. I know a lot of people going out and testing things. I've accidentally hit it on the door and the walls a few times. And there's no damage to the watch itself, none whatsoever. I did, however, accidentally scratch a door. But yeah, once I brushed the paint off, we were all good. Except for the door, my bad. So look, ultimately, when it comes to battery life, like I was saying before I got distracted, battery life on this thing is absolutely insane. It's something that I, coming from a Series 4, which didn't have fast charge as well, I'd need to put it on charge for an extended period of time. Whereas with this, I can chuck it on charge while I'm in the shower, quickly grab some water, maybe grab some breakfast, and then put it back on, and I'm up to sort of 90-95% and ready to go for another day and a bit. Okay? When they said that it would get sort of 30 to 36 hour battery, I can't say that I am getting that, but I'm certainly putting this through its paces. I try and sort of do, an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. I know I don't look like it. Sometimes an hour and a half up to 2 hours of exercise and workouts per day. A lot of that is just sort of low pace walking, because again, bigger bloke. I don't want to be pushing my joints too hard just yet. But that's the goal, or the intent with this, is to really help me get my health and fitness into gear. And it hasn't skipped a beat when it comes to battery life. I have really enjoyed as well, because I bought the AirPods Pro 2, and I've really enjoyed leaving my phone at home. And I can just go out, empty pockets. You know, my garage door is connected to my watch as well. I've got the AirPods in, listening to music, can make a phone call or take a phone call. And it's just, again, hasn't skipped a beat. I have had a few issues with the AirPods Pro 2, sort of dropping out and disconnecting, but that's not exclusive to the watch. That's happened with the phone, my computers, both my Macs. Yeah, so I think that's an AirPods Pro 2 issue. But when it comes to connectivity of the watch, absolutely flawless. You know, battery hasn't been hit at all. I remember I took a phone call for half an hour while I was working out, and it dropped, I think it was 10% battery for half an hour, walking, tracking GPS, tracking heart rate, and on the phone, playing music wirelessly. Unbelievable, incredible. I can't remember if that was through, if I had my phone on me or not. But either way, you know, running through the watch, that's pretty good. No, it didn't have the phone on me. That's right, because it was all running through the watch. And I remember saying, wow, that's just next level, how little battery that's actually using. Downsides of the watch so far, I'm not sure why, and this could just be placebo, and you kind of saw it in my last video as well, with the bands, with the little clip that it goes into. I find that it's a little bit less, or it's more catchy. So if you go to, you know how it's got the sort of the middle black rubber piece that you normally press in to swap out the bands, for some reason I have to push that in as well as out. So bands catch on it, third party, first party, the titanium ones, previous stainless steel ones, they all seem to catch on the side of the Apple Watch. I'm not sure if that's just a me issue or not, but it is the only, so far, downside that I've noticed about this watch. The only other thing, I wouldn't even call it a downside yet, it's just I'd really love to see Apple make more, well, Apple/developers make better use of it. But the action button, so far, I use it to start workouts, and it's fantastic. When I was setting it up though, workouts kind of was the only thing that really made sense for me to use. You know, the options just weren't there on setup. I did notice shortcuts wasn't there, Siri shortcuts wasn't there when I was setting up the watch. But afterwards, when I went into the Apple Watch app, you could reconfigure the action button to trigger a shortcut, which is kind of cool. But I would like to see sort of some more native, you know, no need to create a shortcut options as well when it comes to using the action button. Another thing I'd love to see, and I get why Apple's done this, you know, this is designed to be the watch for extreme sports and going out there and, you know, really sort of roughing the elements and all that. I would have loved to see a space gray model or a black model or whatever they decided to do, rather than just the natural titanium. Again, I understand why they didn't do that, but it kind of would have been cool. Apart from that, this thing has been absolutely flawless. I've taken it swimming as well. I've started swimming again. You know, bigger boy, it's better on my knees if I go swimming rather than going out running. And again, when it comes to ejecting the water, no problem. When it comes to taking phone calls, immediately after a swim, by the way. So I've washed the earpiece and speaker out and the microphone, and it's just been, whoops, there's my washing machine going off now. But yeah, it's been perfect. There's been no issues with the microphone or the speaker. I did find with my Series 4 that I'd have to kind of, you know, do the whole water unlock thing and then blow it out and then wash it out with a towel. But this, you know, you just sort of unlock the speaker, hold it down, and it spits out the water, and you're good to go immediately. That's something I've been quite impressed with the Apple Watch Ultra. Again, this is all coming straight from a Series 4. A lot of this could be Series 5, 6, or 7 in the past, and just little things that Apple's done to make these elements a bit better. But for me, coming from Series 4 straight to Ultra, I'm loving it so far. I appreciate being able to, and I know this is personal, but I appreciate being able to go back to my silver bands rather than using my black bands. So I think it was Series 3 or 2 even, was the last time that I had a silver stainless steel Apple Watch, and I've had a black one ever since with the black stainless steel bands and bracelets. I have enjoyed being able to use the silver. I had a Link bracelet, it was just the replica. But I had a silver Link bracelet, and I really enjoyed wearing that again. I've been wearing it out. I love the look of it. And I think I've had a few compliments as well, and I think a lot of people like it. I think if you have sort of your more formal accessories from previous Apple Watches, don't be afraid to put them on, see what they look like, match them up with different outfits and all of that. If you're like me and you just wear the same color t-shirt every day and you find a staple, fantastic. But otherwise, I think you really enjoy sort of going in and having a bit of a look at the different combinations that the Apple Watch Ultra can sort of sport. No pun intended there. But yeah, Absolutely loving it. I was blown away at the price of this thing. So inside of Australia, this is $1,299 Australian. The stainless steel Apple Watches, from memory, they were about $1,000 or $1,100. So it wasn't that much difference between a stainless steel Apple Watch and the Ultra, which had, you know, a bunch of different additional features, and the battery life again was the big thing. I wasn't intending to go with the Ultra, but then when they sort of said that the battery life was going to be double that of a regular watch, I thought, ooh, okay, battery life is something that's worth jumping ahead for. So, yeah, I was really blown away at the price. I think the value for the Apple Watch Ultra it's undeniable for what it is. Yes, it's a more expensive watch, but for what you get, particularly if you're an Apple Watch enthusiast, a tech enthusiast, or if you're like me and you kind of like getting into sports a little bit, not really, but also are trying pretty hard to. It's a pretty good incentive. It's enjoyable to use. It's fast. The battery lasts you forever. There's no more battery anxiety. When it comes to apps, I'm discovering a whole bunch of different apps as well that I haven't used before. Seeing other YouTubers talk about different workout apps and analytics apps. Because somebody, I can't remember who it was. I'd love to quote them, sorry. But they were saying the Apple Watch is a fantastic collector of data. It's just that the default and first-party Apple Watch apps are not so great. Like the workout app, for example, is not so great at spitting that information back out to you. So there are some third-party apps. Go around and have a play. But again, look, in summary, battery life incredible. That's one thing I've really enjoyed. It is extremely durable. Like I said, sorry, door. Strip the paint off the door. Can't even tell that it's hit anything. What was I saying? The formal, can this be a formal watch? Absolutely. My wrists are bigger, so it fits me quite well. But like I said, I think for those who sort of have sported the larger watches, particularly in the past, you'll definitely get away with wearing a larger watch. And the bands that you would have worn previously, like your stainless steels, they look fantastic with this new Apple Watch Ultra as well. So if you were considering it, if you were on the fence and waiting to see the reviews after a week or 10 days in my case, I would say absolutely. Particularly if you're coming from a stainless steel Apple Watch, you're already used to the sapphire crystal display, you're already used to a watch that's far more durable and scratch resistant. This thing is absolutely worth the money. And so far, no compromise. And again, coming from a Series 4, it is a massive, massive, massive upgrade. The always-on display is something that I've been envious of for many years. Having it myself now, I was a bit worried about battery life. Not an issue at all. So, look, really appreciate you coming, watching this video. I'm hoping to do a little bit more content, probably a little bit more polished than this, about the Apple Watch, and really showing you, again, like I said, one of the biggest things that I want to get done with this Apple Watch is getting my health and fitness back in order. So if you're interested in seeing that, please subscribe, like the video, let me know that you're interested in seeing that, and that this isn't just me. Although I'll be happy to keep going regardless, because it'll be good to get my health in order. But yeah, if you'd like to see it, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Highly recommend. If you can afford it, if it's on the cards for you, if it's something you're considering and hesitant about, do not be hesitant. Your mind will be blown with just how fantastic this watch is. I'm not sponsored by Apple, I promise. All right, have a good one. Thank you.